With Godforge Alpha starting next week, it's time to break down everything we know about the upcoming Alpha waves. Whether it's the mechanics or a full breakdown of the caverns, I've got you covered. So without further ado, what's up everyone? Welcome to the channel. I'm Charlemagne, and let's get into it. First and foremost, if you're looking for just a piece of information, check out the chapters below. I've got a full breakdown on what's being discussed in this video, and I don't want to waste your time, so jump to where you need to, and I'll see you in the next video. But if you're here for the full breakdown, strap in. Godforge Alpha is going to be in 3 waves. Starting on July 23rd with Wave 1, each wave is going to last about 10 days. On July 23rd, Wave 1 will begin. This is an initial test that's going to be heavily weighted towards reporting bugs and working with the devs to fix some issues that they haven't caught in their friends and family wave. On August 13th, there will be another 10-day wave. This will be Wave 2, which a lot of the community will be able to participate in, as it's going to be about 20,000 players. And then on September 3rd, we're going to have Wave 3. This is going to be a full competition for who can gain the most stars in the caverns, as well as do the most damage to the final boss. Now, it's been a couple of weeks since we got our email asking us which wave we want to participate in, so hopefully you're able to fill out that survey. If not, go into your email, check your mailbox, and look for either Fateless or Godforge Alpha as keywords. When it comes to Godforge Alpha, Fateless has created a cavern system, which is kind of a reversed tower. Tower system being a progression of levels with increasing difficulty for a player to build up their heroes and fight stronger challenges as they go deeper and deeper. There will be 150 levels, which are all broken up into segments of 30 levels each. At every 30 levels, Fafnir or the Golden Guardian will be a boss to fight. And according to Hell Hades and what he got from his level 30 Fafnir fight, they're going to be dropping legendary champions. So that's pretty exciting. Every 10 levels that aren't 30, 60, 90, etc. are going to be a beefed up hero boss. So imagine something like a campaign final where we're taking on one of the heroes themselves. They're just going to be bigger and stronger and have a little bit more stats. There's going to be curved progression in difficulty when you go from the beginning up until the end. So it'll probably be pretty easy to progress the first 50 or so waves. In fact, Hell Hades has said himself that he was able to get through the first 50 floors in about a day or 2. And so we can anticipate a lot of chances to go in and fight and progress, and then begin to hit a wall as we need to focus more on the mechanics and the buffs and debuffs that the heroes are bringing. And so when it comes to difficulty, you may be asking the question, how far am I going to get? Am I even going to be able to compete at the end? Well, Sham shared that they believe that anywhere between 1 and 10% of the player base is going to reach the actual final boss. So that does give you an indication of what they believe the final difficulty will be in this cavern system, and what we can anticipate when it comes to the launch and full version of Godforge. And guys, as you're playing the alpha, if you want a full breakdown on what's going on when it comes to the mechanics and how buffs and debuffs work, I've got the resources for you. Check out the links below or the card up above and go check out those videos. Don't forget y'all that this is a young channel. If this is your first time, but especially if it's your second or third time watching one of my pieces of content and you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, make sure and click down below and join me in the journey. In a recent video, when Simon was talking with Scratch, he shared a little bit of information in that we can kind of anticipate that the last 10 levels, 141 through 150, are going to be potentially far more challenging than the rest, but that the drops and rewards from these levels are going to be far greater. I can't remember exactly where it was said, it may have been the same video, but the idea is that the developers want the player base to have a lot more resources, a lot more, as Simon says, goodies, to be able to really dig in and play the alpha to its fullest extent. So my interpretation of that is that they're going to begin to drop far more legendary champions towards the end so that we can begin to min-max, build up heroes, try skills, and really figure out the best way to do the most damage to the final boss. Speaking of that, there is going to be a level 151 Fafnir. This is their dragon boss, in which there's going to be unlimited damage, kind of like a clan boss style, but for a single player. And there's going to be the ability for us to go in repeatedly and see how much damage we can output. So make sure and pay attention to this channel and the other content creators, as we'll be able to stream and put out resources during the alpha for the best way to put out damage. Like and subscribe for more content. I look forward to you joining the journey with me. Now, the caverns will be present as a core gameplay loop to allow players to really sink their teeth into what it will feel like to play Godforge, but there will be several core aspects of the game that won't be available during the alpha that Sham talked about in a recent podcast. In his conversation, he shared that there won't be any Aether Stones. Now, this is the image that we've seen of these Aether Stones. This is the summoning currency for Godforge. There won't be any summoning during the alpha, so we don't need to worry about summoning rates or anything like that. All of these heroes will be available to some extent, dropping from waves in the caverns. There will also not be Pantheons, a campaign mode. There won't be any reliquary system where we have to get very creative in figuring out different, combos or secrets in the cavern system. I think the waves are going to be pretty simplistic in that way. And there will also be no masteries or achievement systems for the heroes. Now we know that all hero leveling and ranking is going to be available in the alpha. I'm going to get to a full breakdown of what that means in a couple minutes, so stay tuned. But the only thing that's going to not be present when it comes to growing our heroes is the mastery system. Now, this has been said that this is going to be kind of achievement based, and so it doesn't really fit the mold for the caverns, and that's why it's not going to be fully present in this mode. So that's something we can anticipate for the future. Now, let's talk about the general mechanics though of the cavern. Every level will have 2 stars. 1 star will be earned by completing the level, and a 2nd star will be earned for a various challenge that will be present on that specific singular level. Each level will have a different challenge, and we can assume that as you progress through the end content, those challenges are going to get more and more difficult as we build our roster and have more options available to us. And when it comes to energy consumption inside of Alpha, how far and how much can we do to play the game, I'm pretty pleased with what they've decided. As you progress through the levels or fail at the levels, no energy will be consumed. The only time you're using up energy is when you actually go back and you farm various levels. So as you progress through the first 10, 20, 30 levels, however that looks like, you won't be burning any energy. So especially on day 1, as you're just effectively building up your heroes naturally and using and burning food champions and going through and leveling up your heroes, there's going to be very minimal energy use. In fact, I would probably say that getting through the first couple of levels, then going back, farming a couple to maybe get some gear or anything like that, and then allowing that energy to begin to roll back up onto your account will probably be a good use of that time. So you're not just simply playing for a couple hours without any energy use. So a quick recap on that. As you progress through a level and succeed at a new level, no energy is used. And if you fail at a new level, no energy is used. But if you go back to farm levels that you've already completed, that is when your energy begins to be used up. So make sure and do that wisely. With 150 levels, you could be wondering exactly what are you going to be able to do and farm in those levels. They've said that at various segments of levels, so like 8, 18, 28, 38, etc., weapons are going to drop from those levels, whereas 9, 19, 29, etc. are going to be materials to level up weapons. And so you can assume that regardless of where you are in a set of 10 levels, you're going to have whatever you need to grow your heroes at that time, whether it be weapons, gear, materials, or anything. Just go to the appropriate level that you are closest to, farm that content, gain the resources you need, and then grow your heroes and continue to progress. All in all, there will be 67 champions present in the alpha waves. Now that's a lot of content to go through, a lot of champions and skills to try out, but keep in mind that well over half of those are going to be common and uncommon heroes that we may not necessarily be spending a whole lot of time on. Generally speaking, the majority of your time will be seeking rares, epics, and legendary champions and growing them on your account. So if you need a full breakdown of those heroes, check the link down in the description below. There was so much content there that I did not try to encapsulate it into a video myself. I've linked Fateless's video for you, so go check it out. When we first begin the alpha, we're going to be able to choose our starter hero, either Lady Jacques, Ramses, or Guan Yu. Community has picked Ramses for me to begin with, so that'll be my Wave 1 champion. But if you need a full breakdown of their skills to help you make the decision, click the card up above for my full breakdown of the starter heroes. I would imagine though that they're going to be dropping some pretty good resources for us in heroes along the way. They've said themselves that they want us to get a good amount of heroes and things to play with and really sink our teeth into. And like I mentioned earlier, Simon got Dracula from level 30 Fafnir. So we're going to be able to get our hands on some legendary champions pretty soon. And while some games have a reroll mechanic in which you can start a new account in an attempt to pull better champions earlier on, this particular alpha system isn't going to necessarily be supporting that. Because your alpha progress is tied to the email account that you are setting up and signing up with, there's not really going to be the opportunity for you to be able to reroll. But don't worry, Fateless is working hard to ensure that the resources, the heroes, all the, as they like to say, goodies we're going to get is going to be able to equip you regardless of the starter hero or the first hero you gain to really be able to maximize your progress in the alpha. So sit back, play the game, don't worry about rerolling, and just have a good time. Now, one of the primary questions I've had is how we progress heroes. In recent videos, you've seen information about how heroes can be ranked up, leveled up, things like that. And I went back and looked at a couple of videos and resources to really tune in on what is possible when it comes to leveling. Well, clearly, and this is different for those of us who play Raid, is that all heroes drop at level 1, rank 1. We're not going to be suddenly getting champions that are already like rank 5 or rank 4. They all start at 1-1. Now, you can level heroes up from 1 to 10, and then you have to rank them with either food champions or spirits. And it looks as though you cannot continue to progress a hero past a certain level when they require ranking up. You can see even in this picture from a recent video from Simon is that he has champions at level 30 on his current account, and he cannot get more experience from them because he probably has to rank them up with 3 other 3-star champions or spirits to enable him to progress into level 31 to 40 to rank up again. Now, this system does appear to have a way to level up and rank up heroes all at the same time in your hero inventory, and so it doesn't look like you may necessarily have to just farm levels all the time to solely level up your heroes, but be able to use a resource to do it as well. And when it comes to spirits, I posed the question if we would ever be able to convert our food champions into spirits so that they no longer take up space in our inventory. Now, this will not be something that is available at alpha or potentially even launch, but when I posed that question on one of my recent videos, Simon responded in the comments saying that that is planned to be the case in the future. When that is, we don't necessarily know, but it's good to know that Fateless is planning things such as quality of life updates that make that system cleaner and better for the player base. So we can look forward to that in the future. All right, so that's the caverns, that's the mechanics of leveling heroes and farming. Now, let's talk about the competition. This is going to be Wave 3 starting on September 3rd, when all players who have signed up for any of the alpha waves are able to either come back or enter in for the first time, maximize their progress, go the furthest they can, and then take everything they've learned from all of their time and maximize their damage on level 151 Fafnir. This will be partnered with leaderboards on the Fateless.gg website, looking at seeing who's going the furthest, who's going the fastest, and then who does the most damage at the end. The top 5 winners will be flown out to Vegas to have some fun activities alongside the Fateless team, and they will all go to Verko's Vault, where there will be a diorama designed of Fafnir and the winning team on display. Man, Fateless really is trying to do things different, and I love seeing this community-oriented competition being at the forefront before the game even launches to really tie them close to the community and allow us to participate and have something fun to do in this alpha stage. This is going to be a huge stress test, as there's going to be no limitations on the player count. We can assume that they will be prepared, as the wave before is going to be up to 20,000 players, but even still, this is going to be a test on their system that they will not have faced yet. So good luck, Fateless. I hope all goes well as you prepare for that. The top 1,000 players in this competition are going to earn a unique skin and portrait at game launch, and then the top 100 players, as Simon likes to say, is going to earn some more goodies at launch, whatever that means, so stay tuned. But y'all, this is the alpha. 3 waves, Wave 1, Wave 2, Wave 3 being the competition, and there's so much to look forward to. We're going to get that core gameplay loop mechanic and understanding how this game feels, and the desire from the Fateless team is that it's fun. So are you excited? Are you looking forward to it? Let me know down in the comments below of what you think the alpha is going to be like and whether or not it's going to succeed. But here's the thing. While some developers might want to tuck away their alpha status and see what's going on and make sure that they're making everything really pretty before the whole player base sees it, Fateless has given content creators full rights and permissions to stream and create content for all of the alpha waves. And so you're not going to get silence from me or any of the other content creators as we gain access into that wave 1 and we begin to really test the mechanics and what works well in that game. So subscribe for more content as I dive deep into the caverns and the Godforge Alpha. I really look forward to this journey, and I hope you choose to join me as we experience Godforge for the first time. But here's the thing, Fateless needs feedback. They're a community-first developer, and they are handing their work over to us to test, break, and let them know what we think. This is going to be a development build. This is going to be, somewhere on the spectrum of the low end when it comes to what Godforge is going to look like and feel like at the end of the day. We need to be able to share. We need to be able to be transparent. We need to be able to communicate with this team so that they can maximize their time and deliver a fantastic product for us at game launch. Myself and other content creators are going to be working hard to be able to bring you content to share and break down how to succeed in Godforge. So stay tuned for that. So let's get in their Discord server. The link is down below. Let's gear up and let's get ready for the alpha.